Plaintiff Brandon Valera was friends with the defendant, and they rented a house together. Brandon claims while they were roommates, the defendant fell in love with a stripper and moved in with her before their lease was up, so he's suing. Defendant Robert Jonkis says while living with Brandon, they partied together and even used cocaine. However, Robert claims he moved out after Brandon started selling drugs out of their house. And soon after, Robert was arrested while delivering drugs for Brandon. Therefore, he refuses to pay.
Start with you.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to my parents. They love your show.
All right.
So I met Mr. Jonkis about 6 years ago. He actually came over to my house and he was all busted up.
You did that incorrectly.
Did I?
Hi, Mama.
Oh.
That's how you're supposed to say it.
Hi, Mama.
You don't see them when the athletes, when they're on TV or other people. Hi, Mama. Go ahead. Daddy don't get any action. He's just there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So I met Mr. Jonkis about 6 years ago. We actually met through a mutual friend. He came over to my house and he was all busted up from a bar fight. So we got some ice for him and bandaged his face up, and we actually ended up becoming really good friends. My lease ended and we ended up moving in together, and we lived at a few different places, had bachelor pads, partied, scandalous women, all that fun stuff.
How long did you all stay together from place to place all together?
Say all together about 4 years.
How many places?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Why'd you all move so often?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Go ahead. So what else?
So one day, one of our friends brought this stripper over. She was giving everybody lap dances, walking around all topless. And we were all drinking and partying, and Mr. Jonkis ended up falling in love with her.
Just one girl?
Yeah.
How many of you all were there?
During the party? Or
yeah.
There was, I think, 5 of us over there.
5 of you all and one stripper?
There was another girl over there, but she wasn't a stripper.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so.
I don't know, maybe that's how it goes, but if I'm a girl and you tell me you're gonna have 5 guys, I'm bringing a partner with me. Go ahead.
Right.
Y'all 5 hounds and one girl. Go ahead.
So basically, Mr. Jonkis ended up hooking up with her, making her his girlfriend or whatever, and
the stripper.
Yep. And so yeah, he ended up moving in with her before the lease was up, and that's why we're here today.
Plaintiff Brandon Valera is suing his former roommate, who claims Brandon was a drug dealer and he was arrested while delivering drugs for Brandon.
I'll let him give me some background. Sir?
All right, Your Honor. Like Mr. Valera said, we met a few years back, about 6 years ago, through, it was actually an ex-girlfriend of mine, a friend of his. And we just hit it off right away. We became great friends. We were partying like rock stars together. Like you said, scandalous women, booze, cocaine, you know, the whole thing. And it really started getting out of control. Drugs were being sold out of the house by Brandon. He was having illegal poker games going on in the house. And it got to the point where I felt so uncomfortable. I didn't want to live there anymore. And it was a very shady, toxic situation. I didn't feel comfortable.
It became dangerous. It wasn't fun anymore, it was dangerous.
That's right.
All right.
And he decided I was falling behind on the bills. He decided he didn't want me living in the house anymore, and decided to move in with my girlfriend at the time.
Good enough. Tell me the things that you're suing him for specifically.
Well, for half of the bills that I got, the damages and everything from Metro Collections. That's the
Is it
collection.
for damages only?
That's damages. We didn't do a walkthrough when we first moved in there, and so they pretty much put us through the
So you're not suing for rent, that's my point.
Not for rent, just damages and half the deposit.
You got a replacement roommate.
I ended up having to, while Mr. Jonkis was still there.
Right, so that means he would let him off the hook for rent.
They basically renovated the place on our dime because we didn't do a proper walkthrough when we first moved in. We were just really anxious to get in there. And at one point, we had all of our stuff in one room while they were moving their old stuff out. And
so did you do a walkthrough when you moved?
No, we
none when you moved in, none when you moved
right into
out.
the party, and like you said.
irresponsible lifestyles, and instead of you walking through to verify the things that they're going to accuse you of, you just say, hey, let's go party. And now you want to pass him the bill because you had moved, right?
I had moved out, and shortly after that, I ended up getting arrested because of his drug dealing. I was doing him a favor. I handed off some cocaine to a woman he told me that he knew, and it turned out to be an undercover cop.
Is that true,
Not
sir?
true. I didn't do a drug deal for him.
Was he arrested?
He had me do a drug deal.
I don't know if he was arrested.
I was
This is
arrested.
the first time you've heard this?
He was
I
also,
didn't have any knowledge of
also
that.
This is the
arrested.
first time you heard this?
That he got arrested?
Yes.
Yes.
Were you arrested for cocaine dealing out of the house?
No.
Okay.
That's not true, Your Honor.
All right.
We're both indicted.
Basically, you're saying that this bill, let me see it, is for damages that you all caused while you lived there. And how long did you live there?
Only a few months, Your Honor. Maybe 4 or 5 months.
Out
I
of
lived there
the,
for
and
the
this is a
latter-
1-year lease?
Yes, it was.
He stayed 5 months out of 12 months. And you want him to pay what portion? Half? Is that what you're asking for of this collections bill?
Just the collections bill.
All right,
not
why
for any
wouldn't
rent.
the new person pay something, therefore calling it 1/3? In fact, the new person stayed longer than him. Yet, you only want to charge him.
Well, the new person, we didn't really damage the place after he had moved out. There was no damages really to the place. They're charging us for the damages that were done, that were already done to the property before we moved in. We didn't do a walkthrough.
Do you have a list of damages? They send you something in the mail first, before it goes to collections. They send you something in the mail and says, give me such and such amount for these damages that you caused. Because this could be for rent, this collections notice.
No, it's not for rent.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it's
What I
for.
have here.
All it says here is you didn't pay. All right, lease is $1,100. That's the first thing I see is $1,100 in rent that you failed to pay.
No,
That's $1,100 of this is for rent. The first thing I see. Next thing is for utility bill. So you're trying to charge him for rent and utility bill. Now you're trying to defraud me.
We backed out on this, Your Honor. We were in a lease together, Your Honor. And
That wasn't what you're suing for, the lease. You're suing for damages.
Plaintiff Brandon Valera is suing his former roommate, who claims Brandon was a drug dealer and he was arrested while delivering drugs for Brandon.
You told me he did not owe anything in rent. So we're just going to subtract this rent. He wants $2,429 minus the rent being $1,100 that he owes for that collection notice. Then minus $582. What does that come to?
$747.
Now what about the security deposit?
$1,500.
How does he owe for that?
He didn't pay any of it up front.
You didn't pay up front?
I didn't. He offered
Why?
to pay the whole thing. We wanted to move into the house. We wanted to get in there.
All right, but he sounds like he's saying that you agreed to pay later.
There was never an agreement.
All right,
was an
but yet
agreement.
you agreed to pay rent.
Yes,
Why would you have to pay rent and not security deposit? Didn't you all move in at the same time?
we did.
Well then, all right, give him the $750. I'm sorry, before you do that, divide the earlier number is
Yep.
what?
747.
747, divide that by 3.
Oh, okay.
3 people caused those damages.
249.
$249 for the damages and $750 for the security deposit that you never put down when you moved in. All right?
$999.
$999 is your judgment, so have a good day.
I'm sorry things got to the point where we couldn't be civil with each other, but it was a toxic environment. I didn't feel safe there. I'm sorry I had to come to this, but
It's all good.
after your drug case, that ruined my life almost. I'm still paying for that, Brandon.
Yeah.
I went to jail. I went from the hospital after my injury directly to jail for 3 weeks, denied medical attention, and I'm still dealing with it. I'm still on probation for that.